We've got a lively bunch this morning. Welcome, everyone. Hit the gong again, they say. Hit the gong again. Come in, come in. Welcome. We have a few announcements before we get started.
And I think if Kathy Galloway is here, she's going to come up and give us an announcement about Easter tulips.
I'm Kathy Galloway, and I'm a co-chair of the Worship Arts Committee, and every year we decorate the sanctuary for Easter with tulips, thanks to your generosity. So if you will look at the top right-hand corner of your announcement, it tells you how you can donate a tulip and take it home after Easter for you and your family to enjoy, and we would love for you to donate them. Thank you very much.
If you would like to participate in hands-on housing, that's painting a house on April 11th, talk to Jeremy Hicks. Jeremy, want to raise your hand? Talk to Jeremy after the service. Earth Care is having Ocean Health Awareness Day on April 26th. There are announcements in the foyer, so you can find out all about that or talk to members of the Earth Care Committee. Our church campout is May 15th through 17th. We now have registration open. Just need to let us know that you're coming, how many people, so we can figure out meals and all those kinds of things and do some coordination. We have reporters here today all the way from Finland. We're very popular. Yes. If you do not want to appear on camera, in photos, we have image use revocation forms in the lobby. We need you to fill one of those out so we can let them know who can't be in those photos, okay? And finally, this is Holy Week. We start today with Palm Sunday. You have palm branches. Babs? When we sing our first hymn, Hosanna, we're going to process once around the church waving our palm branches. And this is part of retelling the story of the last days of Jesus and his triumphal entry into Jerusalem when people waved palm branches. Jim is going to speak more about the depth of that story in his sermon. On Thursday, we have Maundy Thursday service, and on Good Friday, we have the Good Friday service. Both of them will start at 6:45 p.m. here in the sanctuary. All are welcome for any and all of those things. Oh, yes. Once you have processed with your palm branches, you can lay them here on the table. And let's say hello to our folks on Zoom. This mic. Our camera's in the back if you want to wave to all of our church members who are on Zoom and who come through YouTube Live. We're happy to see every single one of you, either in person or with us at a distance. Welcome to St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church. There are friendship clipboards on the end of each row. That lets us know, if you fill those out, that you are here. If you would like to be added to our e-news, give us your email address. If you have questions or concerns you want to talk to one of the members of the clergy about, that's a great place to do that. So we are happy to be here with you today. I always think on a Sunday, this group of people has never been before exactly gathered in this way together and never will be again to hear these exact words. So we are doing something new. Let us continue in community.
Okay, please join me in the call to community. We come together this Palm Sunday with love that casts out fear. With hope to trust tomorrow, we accept this day as the gift it is, a reason for rejoicing.
All right, friends, while those folks are coming to bring their palms up, I want to invite our young and young at heart up for our puppet show. Thank you. It's beautiful, organized chaos. All right. All right. Have a wonderful stay. Coming up with us? Yes. I'm just going to give it. Look at all these beautiful friends. Oh. Hello. Hello, everyone. Mwah. It's so good to be back with you. Did you miss me?
Hortense, you got back just in the nick of time. Mr. Monkey has started his own religion.
His own religion?
Yeah.
Mr. Monkey, you're not going to be Presbyterian anymore?
Nope, I've had it. That was the last straw.
Little buddy, what happened?
Well, I came to church last week, and they said they were planning on replacing the light bulbs.
Replacing the light bulbs? I don't get it. What's wrong with them?
My poor old grandpappy put in those light bulbs when I was just a little monkey. Why do people have to change everything?
Well, Mr. Monkey, the light bulbs were burned out. But don't you want to be able to see?
No, I don't want to be able to see. I just want to believe. It's a lot easier to believe in the dark. Everything gets confusing when you turn on the light.
Okay, so what are you calling your new religion?
We're called puppetarians. And we believe three things.
What are those?
First of all, we puppeterians believe that change is just wrong.
Oh, dear.
We believe the dinosaurs had it right. So when we light our candles at the beginning of church, we rub two sticks together the way you're supposed to.
Oh dear. What is the second thing puppeterians believe?
Well, we also believe that people shouldn't think for themselves. They should just repeat what dead people have already said.
Uh-oh.
I think I'm going to be sick. And what's the last thing puppeterians believe?
You never, ever, ever do anything for the first time. That's my new religion.
You know, I don't think that's a new religion. I think I've heard that one before. Look, little buddy, you know, change is hard for all of us, but I don't think we need a new religion. We just need to make sure whatever religion we have teaches us to love.
I agree, Jack. Love is the heart of every true religion, and fear is at the heart of every kind of confusion. We should always be open to change so we can grow more and more into love. Let's sing a song together.
Okay.
Why not?
Will some of y'all help me sing a song? Yes. Wonderful. This, I think, is a good song for Palm Sunday. It's down by the riverside. It goes, I'm going to lay down my sword and shield. Have you heard that one? Down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Then I'm not going to study war anymore, which would be a good idea for the world. So, gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside,
Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, lay down my sword and shield. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside.
Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study the war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more.
Ain't gonna study war no more.
Okay, we're gonna do it one more time. Let's see if we can all get on the same beat. That'll make it an interesting. Gonna lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside,
Down by the riverside,
lay down my sword and shield down by the riverside, down by the riverside. Ain't gonna study war no more. 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 Ain't gonna study war no more.
Alright.
Very good. Thank you.
All right, my young friends, you are invited back to chapel. We're going to have chapel all together today because we're going to do some painting. We have things to cover up your nice clothes. You're going to follow Ms. Edwina out the door, and I will meet you back there. Oh, and parents, they're not going to come back probably at the normal time because our project's going to take a little bit longer, so don't be afraid. We will be back.
Sun in the heart, sun in the soul, fill the house with light again. Fill our friends with joy. Blaze in the eyes of enemies. Blind them till they see. Rise over the mountain, ripen the grapes, make rubies out of stones. Sun in the sky, sun in the heart, doctor, beacon, take our hands, use our hands. Cure the ill and ailing. Make the gardens green again. Adorn farm and meadow with every fruit and flower. Criminal to let clouds hide you. Unveil your face and brighten our dim world.
As we come to our time of prayer or meditation, it's been a week, so let's take a couple breaths in, just like a wave. Let's breathe in and out. And another wave. Let's breathe in and out. And settle in your chair and relax your shoulders. We lift up today Jeannie and Bob's friend Richard in Chicago, who has just received a cancer diagnosis. Our thoughts are with him and his family. We lift up Lynn's daughter Carrie, who has stage 4 lung cancer, and our thoughts are with her and her family and all who are providing treatment. Spirit of love, in caring for one another, may we be untiring. In challenging one another, may we be respectful. In sheltering one another, may we be strong. In holding one another, may we be tender. In the expectations that we have of each other, may we be realistic. In the songs we sing together, may we sing with harmony. And in loving one another, may we be all these things and more as we seek to hold faith with one another. Amen.
Our scripture today is from the book of Isaiah. Console my people, give them comfort, says your God. Speak tenderly to Jerusalem's heart and tell it that its time of service is ended, that its iniquity is atoned for, that it has received from God's hand double punishment for all its sins. A voice cries out, "Clear a path through the wilderness for the Holy One. Make a straight road through the desert for our God. Let every valley be filled in, every mountain and hill be laid low. Let every cliff become a plain, and the ridges become a valley. Then the glory of God will be revealed, and all humankind will see it." Ancient words for our present day understanding.
Well, it's always been strange to be a friend or a member of St. Andrews. This church has sailed through many a storm for a lot of people that were not popular at the time. Sometimes our problems was with the denomination, and we had to face procedures. And I remember years ago I was on trial for we were ordaining LGBTQ people, standing up for women's right to have determination over their body and to be respected as moral agents. And I was preaching on the Easter passage, and all of a sudden I was in trouble enough to understand what the story means. And I realized that if you're not standing on a gallows, it's really hard to understand what's at stake in the Easter story, what's at stake in the story we have today, where people are facing off with Rome to do not just a parade, but a protest. And to know the consequences of that could be very, very serious. And to realize that Jesus was murdered by Rome, executed by Rome, not because of any religious reasons, but because his message felt like a threat to the systems of domination that were in power at the time. Remember, Rome didn't care what you believed, as long as you knelt before their power. That story really hasn't changed much through the ages. And you happen to be living out the story of Palm Sunday, whether you want to or not, particularly if you're a friend or a member of this community. I don't know if you've read the newspaper lately or gone online, but you're not very popular. And I've tried to distance myself because I'm just a poor, humble country preacher. But one of our members is running for Senate. And it's hard to convince people that as much as we love this person, his name starts with a T, we're still a church. We're not partisan, as much as that may seem untrue. Our issue is universal human rights. And there's one party that's very good at that. Well, no, there's no party that's very good at that, but there's one party that's very bad at that. And the other is at least hypocritical. At least gives lip service. We got to start somewhere. But what does love mean if you don't care about human rights? What does love mean if you don't care whether the air people breathe is poisonous or the water that they drink is poisonous? How useless Christianity would be if it weren't political. Now, it shouldn't be partisan. It should include everyone. But you have to stand up to bullies if you're standing up for everybody. Universal human rights is not a partisan issue. The environment is not a partisan issue. And anyone who tells you otherwise is lying. Universal human rights is one nonpartisan issue. The environment is another. If we don't stand up for everybody and offer others every right we claim for ourselves, we are a part of their oppression. It's not enough to love people from the sidelines. We have to protect each other. We have to stand up for each other. We have to advocate for one another. Now, there's some parts of the Christian church that beg to differ. I'd like to read you a very inspirational quote from Pete Hegseth. He prayed at the Pentagon this week. And called for overwhelming violence of action against those who deserve no mercy. He prayed that God would break the teeth of the ungodly. Anybody that prays that prayer better have a good dentist. And my favorite quote this week, he said, "We negotiate with bombs." I'm an old guy. 50 years ago, that would have been unthinkable. 20 years ago, that would have been unthinkable. That somebody would think that they're speaking as an American, talking about war crimes against our human family, relishing in violence, confusing cruelty with courage. And he was a very brave podcaster, don't get me wrong. It's a cabinet full. Podcasters, talking heads. Very similar to the leadership when Jesus is there. Now, if Jesus were just a religious figure, he never would have done the parade on Palm Sunday. This is an act of defiance. An act of contempt against hierarchy. But that Christianity was murdered early in the womb. It's always been there. Mystics have always held to kindness and love as the essence of the teaching. But very cruel people in the name of Christ murdered the mystics and it said they were God's ambassadors on earth. One of those very profound spiritual figures talked about our beloved member, James Tallarico, and said the psalmist was not shy. The psalmist did a prayer, God destroy them, make them as dung on the ground. One of the clergy said, I pray that God kills him. Then he did some theological gaslighting. And nobody is better at theological gaslighting than a MAGA Christian. To take someone who told us not to judge, commanded us not to judge, it says if you don't judge certain people, God will judge America. See, we don't have to wait for a reptilian antichrist. Anyone who speaks of cruelty in the name of Christ, who defends the oppression of the human family in the name of Christ, is an assault on the message that we're looking at today. This is not new. Let's look at the first slide. This is a slide. We have a new screen so that I don't have to turn around. These series of prints come from Reverend Kent Miller, and we appreciate They tell the story. But what this particular print reminds us is that the people who did the joyous little parade that we celebrated a few minutes ago turned on Jesus in a dime. Because it was Jesus or Barabbas. Barabbas was the MAGA Messiah, powerful, patriotic, cruel. Jesus was soft on crime. Jesus was not particularly religious. He was critical of religious hierarchy. This sketch, and I'll look at the other one, but I want to try to get out of your way. Notice the little white spaces between the people. Kent told me that those are symbols of daggers, the white daggers. There is a type of Christianity that is murderously cruel and is the very repudiation of the kindness and grace and lack of judgment that Jesus calls us to. I believe more and more as I get older and older that Jesus did not come to teach us Christianity. Jesus came to teach us radical and universal love. Some of the meanest people I've ever met called themselves Christian. Some of the most ignorant people I've ever met hid behind that label. So the question I want to ask as we go through this sermon, every step along the way, is, are the people that are attacking your Christianity, do they sound more like Jesus or the people that killed Jesus? Because they're saying you're not a Christian. So that's the litmus test I would like for you to use. And I think you'll be at peace from now on, knowing that they have to attack you because you're too frightening to them. Your love shines a light on their hate. Your science shines a light on their superstition. They are not bad people, but they're very frightened and they're very dangerous. So as we walk along the way, that question, I would like to come back to it from time to time. Now, there are 3 mistakes about Palm Sunday that I think are mistakes about the idea of Christianity in the first place. Let's go to the first quote. Palm Sunday is sometimes called the triumphal entry into Jerusalem. This is backwards. If you will look at this quote, you see that it's been punctuated wrong in many places. A voice of one calling, and then a punctuation point. Because the way you usually hear it is a voice of one calling in the wilderness. But notice how it's punctuated. A voice of one calling in the wilderness, prepare the way for God. Now the wilderness was where all the rejects were. That's where when you kicked people out, when you said they were unclean, that they're not worthy to be in your midst, in your congregation. That's where you would kick people out to. So Jesus was saying, leave your holy temple. Leave your patriotic center and go out into the wilderness and find the lost and the broken. Does that sound more like Jesus than MAGA Christianity? So people look at you and say, you don't care about morals because you love the people that we hate. And you stand up for people and you treat them like human beings. Jesus said, judge not and God won't judge you. That's the new deal. Don't judge other people, and whatever you've done wrong will get dropped. MAGA Christianity is just the opposite. They teach a lie from hell that if you don't judge your human family, if you look at them with respect, if you treat them like human beings, that God will punish you. Does that sound more like Jesus or the people that killed Jesus? Jesus was killed by the moralists. It wasn't the village people that killed him. It wasn't liberals, it wasn't communists, socialists. It was people whose morality was so rigid that it could not take in all forms of humankind. And so instead of learning and growing and broadening their heart, they amputated members of their human family. And that's never gone away. So when MAGA Christianity talks about Sharia, but can't find any examples of it, but tells you you need to be afraid of your Muslim neighbor, that children are going to school as one gender and coming back on a different gender, like they have operation rooms in the school. I mean, it's very stupid, but it's working. Because if you keep scaring people, they shut down upstairs. If you don't understand that Jesus was teaching no one is unclean, the Levitical code is gone. It's a lie to say Jesus came and died so we could eat ham. Jesus came to teach us to see the sacred, the Christ in each other, and to look past the physical differences and to see the human heart. So when somebody says you don't care about morals because you forgive and you love and you include, just ask yourself, does that sound more like what Jesus said, or does it sound like the people that killed Jesus? The second quote I want to look at, a lot of people see Palm Sunday as lifting up King Jesus. But it's really important to realize he rode a donkey in. It's really important to remember he said, I've come not to be served, but to serve. Can you worship a God who isn't a bully? Can you worship a Christ who refuses the crown and the throne? Can you follow someone who takes the lowest place? This passage that you're seeing will get you in trouble every time, because this is a call to Jubilee. This is the song that Mary sang at Jesus' birth. The mighty will be lowered and the weak will be raised. The hungry will be filled with good things and the full will be sent away empty. The mountains will be lowered and the valleys raised. It's social revolution. This is why Rome got panicked. This is why the priests got panicked. This is why the governmental officials panicked. Jubilee means reshuffling the deck, where everybody has a chance for a life of dignity. You cannot do that within capitalism. Do you understand that? If you get your values from property rights, you've said no to Jubilee. Jubilee's reshuffling the deck so that human rights take precedence. Yes, you can have property rights, but human rights are the context of property rights, not vice versa. A country that lets people starve, a country that lets people die of preventable diseases, is not a Christian nation. A politician who cuts funding for children. I mean, I agree that religion should not be partisan. At the same time, if you say you believe in Jubilee and then vote for people who make it impossible for there to be a middle class, for people to get medical care, for people to have work that has meaning to it, do you get kind of a sense why people wanted to kill Jesus? That's scary stuff. And maybe you can understand why some people don't like you very much either. The Christian message is revolutionary. You cannot answer this call within the status quo. And so to realize that what we're being called to is a love that is so powerful that it changes the world. It makes it on earth as it is in heaven. That's not the Christianity I was taught as a child, probably not the one you were taught as a child, but it was the one that I longed for, the one that would make sense to me. So again, when somebody says, you're not patriotic enough, you're not bowing before King Jesus, you don't submit to the hierarchies of the status quo, does that sound more like something Jesus said or like the people that killed Jesus? Last example. One of the key elements of Christian nationalism, of MAGA Christianity, or of fundamentalism, is that they're insiders and outsiders. They're chosen people and outcasts. It's wrong to kill Americans unless they're liberal. But Venezuelans, kill them, murder them. They don't need due process. Or bombing Iran. Or ignoring the misery in Gaza or in so many places. Jesus called God Heavenly Parent, not to talk about the gender of God, but to tell us that humankind is our family. And we cannot love our Heavenly Parent if we're abusive to each other. So the passage says, and the glory of God will be revealed to all people. All people. What kind of a God would love some of the children and not all of the children? What kind of a Christian could accept a cosmology where some of your human family goes to hell for eternity? Love longs for the happiness of every being. And what the story is telling us is when we live out of that passion and compassion for other people, we're on a holy parade. That path, walking that path, even if it seems hopeless, giving some time this week to universal human rights, to the environment, giving some gift, no matter how small, puts you on the path to heaven. I don't believe in heaven and hell, but I do believe sometimes it feels like heaven and sometimes it feels like hell. And when I love, it feels like heaven eventually. And when I'm griping, it comes back as unhappiness. Martin Luther King did a sermon on Palm Sunday. And the whole thing just about was focused on Gandhi. Isn't that interesting? How do you think MAGA would really feel about a preacher that preached about a Hindu from India when he was talking about this Palm Sunday passage? This is what he said. He says, one of the strange ironies of the modern world that the greatest Christian of the 20th century was not a member of the Christian church. That would have gone over real well. When Jesus said, I have other sheep that are not of this fold, King says, I think Jesus is saying here in substance that I have followers who are not in this inner circle. He's saying in substance that I have people dedicated in following my ways who have not become attached to the institution surrounding my name. I have other sheep that are not of this fold, and my influence is not limited to the institutional Christian church. He said of Gandhi, more than anyone else in the modern world, Gandhi had caught the spirit of Jesus Christ and lived it more completely in this life. How does that feel in your heart? It's an interesting time. And I can't tell you how proud I am to be a part of a community that's willing to join this parade. Willing to be lied about, to be vilified. Kind of remember Jesus said that was going to happen? From people in the church who were so afraid, who were taught a lie at infancy, and have never found the courage to step out of it. Maybe this will be that opportunity. Maybe if we return love for the hate, forgiveness for the judgment, maybe if we model the teaching, the world will begin to change. But in any case, knowing the path that you can walk the rest of your life of dignity, meaning, and worth, knowing that no matter what happens in the world, you will contribute to a better future. To me, says what we're really talking about is this parade is the road to the promised land. So, look back at the, thank you, they changed the picture. They've gotten where they can read my mind. Sometimes the church is like that. Pious daggers. And it doesn't take evil people. Any of us can fall into that. But to realize Jesus is calling us out of that. The cross is not a symbol of God's anger. It's a symbol of the pain that love sometimes costs us. And a reminder that it's worth it. When people say you don't care about morals, from the core of your heart say, God has said, call no one unclean. When someone wants you to worship before a hierarchy, to kneel before King Jesus and I'm the viceroy, I'm the intermediate, I'm the ambassador, sing of jubilee. Sing of a justice that does not need kings or bullies. Sing of a love that is so deep and profound that it wants to give others every right that it claims for itself. And then finally, open your heart to a love that's big enough for everyone, that needs no scapegoats, that needs no one outside it to feel its worth. And to know that is your home and that is your heaven. We'll take a moment now for you to reflect on your own thoughts on this passage.
during our offering time, we like to celebrate the gifts of this community that you give back to our world, a world that is very hurting, obviously, right now. And yesterday was another food pantry day. And while our numbers of households went up just a little bit from the last time, overall, we didn't serve as many people, even though we had a few more households. So I've got great concerns, we all have great concerns for why our numbers are not as high as they have been and as we kind of hoped that they would stay. And we think that maybe folks are just afraid. They're afraid to leave their homes, to come up to a place where ICE knows that there's been a food pantry and that there are people there that they can harass. And we have not had ICE here, and we do everything we can to keep ICE away, but it still must be that these folks are just very much afraid. And I worry about them. We all worry about them because we know they need the things that we can provide in our food pantry. So while we celebrate all the people that make that food pantry happen, we also remember all those folks who are living in such fear that is almost unimaginable to most of us. So we had about 230 households, which was a little bit up, like I said, from before, but it only served food for 919 people. And that's a lot of people, but we've been doing more than that. And so we hope that the future gets brighter, and we know that the gifts of this community will continue to be spread throughout our world. So could our ushers please come forward?
We're going to learn a new song, and it's easy and repetitive enough that we're just going to launch in and you can follow along. The main phrase is shine your light. So anytime it comes by, just shout it out, and then you'll learn the rest as we go. And I apologize to the slide folks back there. I made a change, and I didn't tell you. So let's advance one more. I think you can go from there, and everything will be good. But it changes pretty fast. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Shine your light, together let's agree. Shine your light, the world needs you and me. Shine your light, so we can all be free. Go shine your light, go shine your light. Shine your light, every single day. Shine your light, the world needs us to say. Shine your light, loving is the way. Go shine your light, go shine your light. Shine your light, together let's agree. Shine your light, the world needs you and me. Shine your light, so we can all be free. Go shine your light, go shine your light. Shine your light, every single day. Shine your light, the world needs us to say. Shine your light, loving is the way. Go shine your light. Shine your light, ending goes, shine your light, go shine your, one more time, shine your light, go shine your light. rise as you're comfortable. We'll get one more time on Shine Your Light before we go. Next slide. Next slide. There we go. That's the one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's hear ya. Shine your light. We can agree. Shine your light. The world needs you and me. Shine your light. So we can all agree. Shine your light. Go shine your light. Shine your light. Every single day. Shine your light. The world needs us to say, shine your light. Loving is the way. Go shine your light. Go shine your light. Shine your light. Together let's agree. Shine your light. To lead you and me. Shine your light. So we can all be free. Go shine your light. Go shine your light. Shine your light. Every single day. Shine your light. The world needs us to say, shine your light. Loving is the way. Go shine your light. Go shine your light. Shine your light. Go shine your light. Shine your light. Go shine your light.
Tough times, and I know it's hard to remain a loving presence. But I will remind each and every one of you that each of you is a child of that wonderful spirit of love that we sometimes call God. And that spirit knows when you skin your knee or your heart. That spirit knows when you admire a butterfly or cry in the darkness. So go out into this wonderful world and tell the whole world that they are loved just exactly as they are. Go and kiss the hurts of this world. Go and laugh and play in the fields of grace and love. Go in peace. Amen.